I'm wondering if somebody can do a wellness check on my brother and his family. They've been really sick for probably like the past week and a half, and I can't seem to get a hold of them.
Okay, give me just a moment. And let me see, I think you said 202 Reserve Place, that's your address?
202 Reserve Place in Celebration.
Okay.
I'm calling from Connecticut, so I mean, so there's no way for me to easily check. He doesn't have any other family down there. I had actually called on December 29th, and I had an officer go out because I was concerned. My brother and his family, they had all been sick, but there's actually been more developments. There's actually an active, and I just in conversations with my sister, my sister-in-law was making a comment about, we just kind of put it all together about basically the world ending on the 28th, and nobody has talked to them. Nobody physically talked to my sister-in-law since the 26th of December, and my brother has stopped texting as of Monday.
Hey, you guys, how's it going? Hey. Let me scroll up and say hi to y'all. Hi, Molson Man. Hey, Cement Shoes. Hey, Anaphylaxis. Hey, good to see everybody. Let's see, who else Cement Shoes. Hello. Coolest Reviews. Hey, listen, Coolest Reviews. I'm gonna watch your video. Don't you worry. I'm very excited. I saw the thumbnail for it, and I can't wait. Hey, Callie. Hey, Jackie. Hey, Allie. Who else? Let's see. I don't want to miss anybody. Hey, Jackie. Hi, Mo. Hi, Kimberly. Good to see you guys. Thanks everybody for coming. I really appreciate this. So I wanted to say I was supposed to share it here. Do you want me to share it? Hold on. I'll go to your channel and we'll watch it right meow. Wait, do you want me to share it here or do you want me to play it here? Because either I'll do it either way. If you want me to share it on my community tab, I'm more than happy to. Or if you want me to play it, I'll play it. It's up to you. You just tell me what to do. Because, I like for creators to get the views that they deserve. And you definitely deserve views. So I don't want to take that from you guys. Are you sure? Okay. All right. Let me go over here to Coolest Reviews and we'll play his video. But in the meantime, let me just say that I was taken quite aback today. I did not watch the Todt trial because let me hold on a second. Because I for the same reason I didn't watch the Johnny Depp Amber Heard trial today. I felt like yesterday having watched a little bit of both, I don't know another way to say it. I already said it in the other chat. I don't even know why I'm trying to be like censor myself here or be I don't even know. I find that my reactions to test to anything really is best when it's fresh and like ODB raw, period. I like myself better that way. So I didn't watch any of it today. However, um my my pal Mo let me know that I that we're going to it is perhaps going to be very short. I'm given to understand that that the state rested and that Anthony Todt took the stand today, which I am I don't I am verklempt. Um, frankly, um, I don't even know what to say. Hi, Amelia. Good to see you. Um, I, while I think of some kind of something to say, because isn't that what you guys have me up here for, is to hear me say? I'm going to play Cement Shoes video that he has made. But before I do that, let me get up here real quick and give you guys the link to Coolest Reviews channel so you guys can all go over there and subscribe, because I like to support my friends and people who do good work, and Coolest Reviews does good work. So here is the link to Coolest Reviews channel. And YouTube, slow down. Just calm down. I'm going to play it. Just be patient. All right, here we go. Y'all ready? All right. This is channel friend, scholar, and good neighbor, Coolest Reviews. Ready and go.
This is CR, Coolest Reviews. Tonight, we have a very special guest, the hatchet-wielding hitchhiker killer. So, Kai, you've just brained somebody. You have 25 seconds to convince the world that you're a good guy. And go.
No, you're not. I mean, it doesn't seem like you have any concern for yourself. You're all about, doing the right thing and not even worrying about Kai first.
If anybody's watching this somewhere else and they got a mini Mal that they could lend a guy with a wetsuit, I'd love to test out Mavericks.
Would you do it again?
Club him in the head with a hatchet?
And Kai, what do you do with the like button?
Smash, smash, smash. Yeah.
Oh my God, I love it. That was great. Smash, smash, smash. Love, love, love Kai. All right, hold on. I love it. That was awesome. Oh my gosh, I'm not even typing the right search thing in the right search bar. I'm already like off to a bad start. I'm sorry, you guys. That was so cool. I love it. I love Kai. And I just love that. It was awesome. Smash, smash, smash. Hey, Anita, how you doing? Okay, so now then, this is why I was surprised. Now, just based on the look, the trial started Monday. Today is Wednesday. This is a quickie, and normally I don't criticize quickies, not at all. It is what it is what it is. So give me just a second here because I want to get to the right spot. But before I want to watch him testify, but I want to hear. Let me look at this. I want to hear the defense's opening statement. Like, surely there's an opening statement, right? There's got to be one, right? Okay, let me look. Prosecution. Oh, for Pete's sake. All right, this is how they have it listed. So surely he didn't testify for the whole 5 hours. Let me look at this. Give me just a second. I should have prepared this. But, okay, like, low key. Oh, shit, he does. Oh, wait, no, that's a lie. Hold on, let me hear what this is real quick. This might actually be kind of better for us because it's a lot for me. It's a lot for you guys to be trying to juggle both of these trials and to keep interested and keep up with everything and all of that. So maybe this was a little blessing in disguise, and at the end of all of this, we're just going to end up this will only have to watch for the verdict, right? That might be an okay thing. That might not be the worst thing in the world. I just find it interesting that the state rested already. All right. I just think I'm just shocked that the state rested already. It's a lot. Not doing a very good job narrating. I'm sorry, you guys. I'll get better at it as we go on. But yeah. So, what should we do? Should we watch? I can't find the opening sentence. So, oh, now I feel silly. Okay. Well, let me say this. I will download that one and I'll play it tomorrow night. Okay. I appreciate that. And then I'm going to keep it in the little, in the list thing in the videos. So every so often I'm just going to interrupt testimony with Kai. I think that'll be perfect. No, they've rested. The state has rested. Well, they get a rebuttal. So they've rested their case in chief, and it is now the defense's turn. And evidently, the defense has elected to put the defendant on the stand. And so after the defense has rested their case in chief, the prosecution, hey, Rubberhead, the prosecution then gets a chance at a rebuttal. Whether they take that opportunity or not, I don't know, because the fact that they've rested after, if his testimony is significantly long, and it appears to me that it was majority of the day, yeah, I'm just verklempt at all of this. I really don't even know what to say. Well, listen, I just oh my goodness, I can't highlight the wrong one. I I think I appreciate that so much. And I'm so sorry that it's taken me this long. I never wanted to be this person. It's not like I'm inundated with emails. To be honest with you, I hardly get any. So, but I love everyone that I get, and I'm usually much better at responding. And I just been busy. I'm sorry. I hate to be that kind of person because I'm not that, you know what I mean? Like, there's not really a reason. I'm not busy with I've just had a lot going on this week. Not even with YouTube, just in general. So anyway, yeah, let's add it to the stream. Yes, yes. And I'm going to speed it up just a little bit because obviously we want to be able to hear as much as we can in the time that we have. I know it's a weeknight and a work night for everybody except for Molson Man, who's on spring break. But okay, this is a really good question, Callie, because the truth is, according to his to Anthony's confession, they were unalived before Christmas, and they were discovered on January 13th. So at least 20 days, way longer than he should have. He should, you know what I'm saying? 2 days is too much. But yeah. I also, Molson, are you still that live with Brittany part 2 is tonight, isn't it? Okay, so this is what we're going to do, you guys. It's 9:30 now, all right? We're going to if Molson, I don't know, let's just play and see what ends up happening. All right, let's just watch it. We'll do whatever we need to do. All right, here we go.
We're going to accept a denial as the allegation that you violated your probation. Mr. Johnson will be talk to you
Oh,
about
this is somebody else's trial. We don't really. Is that Anthony Todt? No.
Just leave it up until it.
That doesn't look right like him.
Dr. Miller, we're just going to have you come over to the witness stand. We'll swear you in front of the jury for the day.
Oh, wait.
Let's leave it on so I'll know when it's disconnected.
This is the detective. Let's just skip him. I'm sure what you have to say, sir, is riveting. And maybe when we recap for the week, because obviously we're going to need to do that. That's what we'll do.
I think that having just learned this morning that the state will not be arrested today and not going forward, we would ask the court to either resume tomorrow with the jury or on day next week as we were planning for the 3-week process.
Right. At the conclusion of the trial yesterday, the court asked the parties to get together and lay out what they anticipated would be the timeline. Did that meeting not happen?
Indeed, but there wasn't clear agreements on the time.
All right. And the evidence that's been induced during the trial, has there been any new evidence that was adduced that was not in the possession of the defense for the multiple years that this case has been pending?
No, but there was a surprise today that there were journals that were in custody of the state for most of the time that were taken from the House that apparently if there's an objection that the state is going to raise concerning the use of the journals in the process.
That is incorrect. The defense has known about everything that has been in evidence. The defense went and inspected the evidence themselves and looked at the journals. I have the evidence that I've been provided by the defense that they are seeking to introduce are medical records, which I object to. They are named as medical records. I'm objecting based upon relevance. There has been no discussion of journals. I don't intend to introduce the journals, so I'm not sure what Mr. West is speaking about.
There's no doubt that the state, that we saw them in an evidence view, that the state had custody of them. And today we had planned, we didn't plan to close to present the case today, but we plan to show the relationship between the family and how it was marked in journals over the years of entries by both people. Apparently, Ms. Smith was told this morning that the
Okay, I don't understand all that. Hold on. Huh.
Your Honor, the state has met its burden at this point. The state has met the prima facie case. As far as the corpus argument, corpus is met when there is evidence that a crime has been committed. The defendant was found in a house with 4 decomposing bodies and a decomposing animal. The defendant then made statements to law enforcement about how the deaths occurred. There is equal evidence to support that the state has met the corpus requirement in this case. And the medical examiner testified that the cause of death in each of the children, as well as Megan, was homicidal violence by unspecified means with Megan had any toxicity. This is not a case where any found deaths were accidental or anything that would have prevented the state, absent additional evidence, from playing the defendant's interview. I would also note that there was no objection to the interview prior to it being played on corpus grounds. The case law is very clear with regards to corpus. As far as the animal cruelty count, there's also ample evidence to support the case going to the jury in that count. The veterinarian testified that
Hey, Christine Elizabeth, good to see
there
you.
was no signs that the animal died of natural causes. In all of the autopsies, the medical examiner and the veterinarian testified that suffocation could not be ruled out. It's obvious after the medical examiner's review, as well as the toxicology results, that the children in this case and Megan did not die of natural causes. The state has met its burden and the patient is before the
Hey, recliner detective. Oh, they started back. I haven't watched them
Judgment of
in
acquittal should be
forever. I need
denied
to
by the trial
start.
court if, when viewed in the lens of the light most favorable to the state. The state meets the burden of establishing a prima facie showing of each of the elements in the charging information, in this case the indictment, and that a reasonable trier of fact could reasonably infer from the evidence adduced that a prima facie showing of each element of each offense has been shown. At this stage in the trial, the court finds that the state has met that burden, specifically based on the testimony of Dr. Nara regarding the 4 deceased individuals, as well as Dr. Stern regarding the deceased animal. When coupled with the evidence that was adduced in the light most favorable to the state, the court finds that they have met their burden. The court finds ample evidence of corpus delicti, and when considering the defendant's own statements, the state has met its burden. The judgment of acquittal motion is denied as to all counts. Does the defense anticipate giving an opening statement at this time?
Your Honor, may I have one inquiry? Was Dr. Goldberger or Dr. Goldberg? I don't want to. Berger. I want to make sure we're clear.
Yes, sir. Other than that inquiry, is the defense ready for opening statements?
I don't know now. And which lectern do you prefer that we use?
We will roll in a lectern for you, and we'll position that wherever you'd like in the court, Mr. Weston. Do you want it right here in front of the jury box?
Okay.
All right, thanks.
And Judge, I guess, can I just put the sites? I know I referenced the case. Can I just put the 2 sites on the record of the case?
Of course. Yes.
First versus State with 613, 7th, 2nd, 441, Florida Supreme Court from 1993. State versus Worshow, 343, 7th, 2nd, 605, Supreme Court of Florida, 1977.
Thanks. I reviewed both cases, and ruling remains the same.
Judge, I don't recall if in your denial of jail way, did you address the animal cruelty that we talked about? Okay.
I did.
Okay, I know we kind of skipped through this. Mo had told me about this in chat earlier, and what I want to explain to you is that basically what after the state rested, right? The defense then wanted to file a motion basically for acquittal, saying that the state had not met their burden of proof of any of it. And obviously that motion was denied because as the prosecutor was explaining, you were found in a home with, 4 decomposing bodies, including the dog's body. And that the defense was trying to argue that with this relative to Breezy, that they can't prove that Anthony Todt is the one that actually ended poor Breezy's life, really, or anybody's life for that matter. That's what they're arguing. That's what that means. And the judge said, yeah, no, they've met their burden of proof, which is why there was an indictment in the first place. And so, no, we will not be motion. Your motion for acquittal is denied. So that's kind of weird. It's a weird turn of phrase because when Mo told me about it before, I was like, wait, an acquittal. Judges, if it's a judge trial, they can find you not guilty, which results in an acquittal, or if a jury finds you not guilty, that results in an acquittal. But I think this is more like like after when somebody files an actual innocence claim and it's a habeas corpus, which basically means that it's actually illegal for the state to be holding you because you didn't commit the crime, right? Or no crime was committed. That's sort of what they were arguing in this situation. It's just when Mo said acquittal, I was like, what are you talking? Yeah, it didn't make any sense to me. But then now I'm yeah, exactly. So there we go. All right, now let's hear it.
Judge, I think it would be prudent at this point, I believe based upon an email that I got from Ms. Smith, that there is an anticipation that medical records of Megan Todt are going to be attempted to be introduced as evidence by the defense. I have reviewed the suggested medical records. The state's going to be objecting to the introduction of the medical records. The medical records, a majority of the medical records are from 2011 and 2012. The state would argue that they are relevant in this case. There are medical records that are closer in time. They're chiropractic medical records. The last time the medical records indicate that Ms. Todt went to the chiropractor was in December of 2019, and the medical records did note that she was in pain and suffering from different ailments, but the state is making a relevance argument to all of the medical records.
Thank you. Defense, there is a motion to limit or exclude the anticipated items of evidence that have not yet been brought before the court. I haven't even seen them. Is the defense in any position to make argument with respect to those anticipated items of evidence?
As the prosecutor indicated, they've been in their position for quite some time. We are going to talk to the jury about what happened to the family and their relationship, how things changed for them that led to the events that are the subject of the case.
Oh my gosh, just make your opening statement already, for Pete's sake.
My wife is a doctor that stayed with the record.
Or has not shown.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, we chose to make our opening statement to defer it until this time. Some lawyers like to talk about what they expect the evidence will show, but I will talk to you briefly about what I believe the evidence has shown so far.
Objection, Your Honor, the approach.
Yeah, come on.
No need to make you guys listen to that. Bruh, how long have we been sitting here waiting for me to scroll to the just right place? I finally get to the just right place, and they have the unmitigated gall to freaking object, thus resulting in God only knows how long this is going to carry on. So rude.
A witness in this case or exercise your constitutional right to remain silent. I want you to understand that at your request, should you choose to remain silent, I would have instructed your jury that they are not to consider your silence in any way whatsoever in rendering a verdict.
Holy bananas. Did they even make an opening statement?
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, at this portion during the trial, the defense will have an opportunity, if they wish, to give an opening statement.
Oh my
Please remember that
gosh.
the arguments by the attorneys are not evidence or your instruction on the law, but do give them your close attention. They are intended to aid you or guide you as to what they believe the evidence will show or has not shown.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, we chose to make our opening statement to defer it until this time.
Oh my gosh.
Some lawyers like to talk about what they expect the evidence will show, but I will talk to you briefly about what I believe the evidence has shown so far.
Objection, Your Honor, the approach.
Yeah, come on. You should consider their counsel.
There was a great innovation probably 5 or 6 years ago to allow jurors to take notes in cases, and that's very helpful because I've seen that you've been studiously applying, making notes, and to remind yourself of what evidence you heard. The presentation has been difficult for you, I think, and it's been a case that has not been necessarily fun, but we're going to keep going now and call, if you may, your Todt as our witness.
Thank you. Have you concluded with opening statements, Mr. Wilson? All right, thanks. We're going to reposition the courtroom.
I'm over it. That was it. I did all that scrolling around for that.
Mr. West, I'm going to ask you to have a seat at council table. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a very short recess. Please
Oh
not discuss the
my
facts of the case. Please do
gosh.
not conduct any independent research.
I'm over it.
Closing. Opening statements are concluded, and so you can question from this podium, and we'll bring Mr. Todt up when the jury returns, swear him in.
I'm fine with that. Thank you.
Thank you. Initially, my wife and I bought the condo in Celebration in July of 2005.
Oh my gosh. Are you guys as annoyed with this as I am? I'm annoyed with myself. This is annoying, and the audio is terrible. Look at that. Oh my. That is oof. Yikes on bikes.
Mr. Todt, if you'll please remain standing, we're going to swear you.
Please raise your right hand. Do you
Listen,
solemnly swear that the
man.
testimony you're about to answer in this case is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am. Ladies, thank you, sir.
We needed a little levity because Jen was getting pressed and stressed. I'm going to go outside.
My name
You
is Anthony
guys
John Todt.
are in charge.
your age?
I'll be right back.
46.
Mr. Todt, we've heard testimony about a woman named Megan Todt. Are you familiar with that person?
Yes.
And were you, in fact, married to Megan Todt?
Yes.
When did you first meet her?
It was high school of 1992
Where was that?
in Montville, Connecticut. Sorry, Montville, Connecticut. Montville.
And did you and Ms. Todt, did you and Megan, we've used first names throughout the case, so I'll do it to not make it hard to remember. Did you become married or become a couple?
Yes.
Now, did you attend the university in the state of Connecticut?
Yes.
And where did you go to school?
Sacred Heart University in Fairfield, Connecticut.
Did Megan also become a student at Sacred Heart?
Yes, she was 2 years behind me.
What was your course of study?
Undergraduate work, a major in psychology with a concentration in health psychology, with a declared minor of pre-physical therapy, and then I finished my master's degree of science in physical therapy.
Right. Now, did your wife, when did you marry Megan? Was it in college or later?
I had graduated from college already, and she was in her second to last year of college.
What field did she study?
She had the exact same credentials as myself, physical therapy.
Did you practice in the field of physical therapy?
Yes, sir.
And are you familiar with medical terms and medical procedures?
Most definitely, sir.
How long did you practice as a physical therapist?
I received my license in August of 1999 and was practicing up until the current.
Was Megan also involved in the practice with you?
In the practice of physical therapy, sir?
Yes.
Yes. She whereas I did more hospitalist, nursing care, home care, and outpatient, she concentrated most of her time as a pediatric specialist and did work sometime in nursing homes when we traveled.
What were the circumstances that brought your family to Celebration?
Initially, my wife and I bought the condo in Celebration in July of 2005 when we were traveling physical therapists, which means they put us around the country either to cover for what they call snowbird season or people got on maternity leave. They were generally minimum of 13-week assignments, and they could be extended. We first went out to California, wonderful time. Then we came down to Florida and found that since we sold our initial condo in Connecticut, we didn't have any deductions. So we bought the condo in Celebration as a partial investment, partially primary home, because part of our contract with our traveling company is they paid for our residence. So at the current time, they're paying for a rental. Why have the company pay for a rental when they can pay for your actual house and help with your mortgage payments? So we bought the condo in July 2005. When would you like me to continue?
Let me ask you one thing at this point. What was the status of Megan's health when you first met her?
When I first met Megan, sorry, I just need to collect myself. Megan had initially been diagnosed as a teen with Lyme disease, in which was, they say Lyme disease goes into remission. They say Lyme disease goes into just recesses and waits another day to invade, all depending on your immune system, all depending on what research shows and who you follow. She also was diagnosed right around middle school, right before I met her, with a heart issue. This heart issue they diagnosed as mitral valve prolapse and a murmur. They also diagnosed arrhythmias, at which time I found out after I started dating Megan in high school, because I asked her one time. We used to go out to dinner all the time. We used to, normal dating. Ask your next question, Mr. Weston.
I'll try and ask you more questions that have a shorter answer.
I apologize, sir.
But, and when you married Megan, what was the status of her health generally?
Generally, she was healthy. She avoided caffeine and she avoided sugars because of the heart issue previously mentioned.
And then, did there come a time when Megan began to have health problems?
Yeah.
And about when was the onset of that?
March 2011.
And what are the conditions that she experienced?
We were vacationing. I apologize. We were vacationing in Florida, and we were at a theme park, and she got bit by a bug. She described this bug as a 6-legged black bug with a red mark on the back that reminded her of the state of Texas. I didn't see the bug. It was at the end of the day, and this bug bite, which you would think was innocuous, turned into this yellow, green, I can't even describe, pustule. It was a gigantic whitehead. So we went home that night. I went home to the hotel, or it was a hotel at the time, because of the issue.
And about what, that was in 2011, you say?
March 2011, sir.
And then in the ensuing year, did Megan develop any other health complications?
Oh, yeah. Through many trips to the hospital, many trips to the ER, cardiac critical care units. She was diagnosed with a multitude of diagnoses, I guess you want to say. First of which was, they found that she had drug-induced hepatitis. Sorry, first, I apologize, let me back up. They diagnosed her with tonsillar cellulitis. She had these gigantic white pustules on her tonsils. Her lymph node was just totally enlarged, in trouble breathing. In subsequent visits to the ER, subsequent visits to the doctors, they found that she acquired, through the medical aspect, what's called drug-induced hepatitis. So her liver became inflamed, very much so, that it was malfunctioning, to put it lightly. Her eyes were, at one point, the color of the most fluorescent yellow highlighter you've ever seen in your life. I swear her eyes could.
Mr. Todt?
Yes.
Did there come a time then at that occasion when she had the hepatitis that it affected her lifestyle or what she could do?
Most definitely. My wife, she was a yoga teacher, in addition to a physical therapist. She went from a very strong, vibrant woman to barely holding on to 90 pounds. She couldn't keep weight on. She couldn't breathe. Her heart rate progressively was going crazy. At rest, it would be 190 or above. EKGs, all that kind of stuff, saw her throwing atrial fibrillations, ventricular PVCs, which are, it's basically your heart operates in a synchronous motion, okay? Valves pump on rhythm. Her valves, and her, sorry, not valves, her chambers were beating all irregular. It was basically, you take 4 wheels of a car.
Objection, Your Honor, lack of medical knowledge and narrative.
Mr. Todt, have you, what medical training have you received in conjunction with the physical therapy?
I appreciate you asking that, sir. 20 years of medical experience working in the hospital, case review charts, home care, meaning that not only was I operating under a nurse or with a nurse individually at a house, I was also opening cases on my own, which means I received medical information, medical records from the doctors and from the hospital themselves to be interpreted, to be reviewed, and to be deciphered so that I can properly give the appropriate care within their medical limits to the patient.
Thank you for that background. Now, as your wife continued with her health issues, what was her attitude or outlook or demeanor?
Her demeanor went from a very vibrant young woman in which literally we were best friends. As dating, we always knew we would remain best friends. That's how close we were. We dated for 8 years before we were married. Her family was my family, okay? Her grandparents were my grandparents. That's how close we were, okay? She went from, even though she remained the light of my life, whenever she walked into a room, literally, after almost 20 years of marriage, my stomach would have those butterflies in it, seeing my wife. I existed, but she went from, ask the question again, Mr. Wilson.
Now, at that point in time, did you have children?
At the time she got sick, sir?
Sorry?
At what point in time, sir?
Then we're talking about this period in her life when she had gone, when she was less vibrant or less her demeanor changed.
Before she got sick, we were blessed with 2 wonderful boys. Okay? She went from a mom who provided for everything including myself. I consider myself a third kid, okay, to a person who could barely walk stairs on certain days. We hired, with the help and the assistance of our family, we hired I guess you want to say a mother's helper, okay, in which to come in, help bring the kids to school, which is something my wife.
What I'm going to ask you to do is to try and I'll try and correct you so that we don't have long extensions, so it's easier for everyone to understand what we're talking about.
I apologize, sir. It's been 2 years since I've been able to tell my story. I appreciate you working with you.
You and Megan attended Sacred Heart, which was a Roman Catholic university. Is that true?
That's the debate. It's Roman Catholic by name, but it was considered Jesuit run, which I don't know where the derivation between those two run.
But were you raised in the Catholic Church?
I was raised in the Roman Catholic Church and continue to practice as such, sir.
Do you know whether Megan was raised in the Roman Catholic Church?
Megan was raised in the Roman Catholic Church. However, before she went to college, her and her mother and father did shy away from it, but she did get confirmed before we got married.
As you progressed as a family, did Megan seek other religious experiences?
Most definitely, sir.
And what was the reason for that?
When she got sick, we were under the model of traditional medicine. That's where we were trained. Medicine helps. Progression of her disease process, we went more alternative, or she went more alternative, I should say, because we were told to stay away from medications. Alternatives were not working. Through her yoga practice and her yoga certification, she got introduced to, I guess you want to say, an Eastern religion, Hindu and based. I always thought it was Buddhist, but it was actually Hindu. And she shied away from the Roman Catholic Church. And her progression of her religion through that religion and her following also took over her medical outlook and her medical treatment of herself.
Yeah, I'm going to have to stop you right there. Literally no religion that I know of or am aware of ever advocates for unaliving yourself or anyone else. But please continue with your bullshit. That's lies.
She shied away from unsuccessful medical interventions.
Around that time, was there a calamitous event in the life of Megan's parents?
Before the birth of my first son, in November of 2002, her father hung himself. She was very close with her father. She was not close with her mom. I was very close with her father. He was one of my good friends, one of the few males I trusted. One of the things I totally enjoyed about the relationship with her and her family was her relationship with her father. She was that close with him.
Right, sir. And then also,
I've got to take another just a second. Mr. Todt, are they not giving you Benadryl in the jail because your behavior is a complete departure from the behavior that we witnessed in your interrogation video? You're quite, you had a sort of a sedated affect to you. At this point, this is disconcerting to me, and it's not, it goes, all of it is disconcerting. The things that are coming out of your mouth, the body language, how hype you are, it's too much. And at this point, I would like to request that the defendant be given an Ativan, Klonopin, Xanax, some kind of benzo, because he's doing the most. And it's offensive, frankly.
With Megan, she suffered miscarriages, is that right?
Yes, sir.
Did that also affect her approach towards her health or approach towards how she carried on day to day?
The first miscarriage happened when she first got bit by the bug. And before the whole progression of the disease and the process under it. There was, of course, depression and that kind of stuff for losing a baby. And then in the fall of 2019, September actually, we were blessed. We found out that a simple weekend away, we conceived. And she went from being depressed to very happy, dancing, singing,
something I hadn't seen in forever. And we lost a baby. And it affected her big time. And obviously affected me, but she went from that singing, humming, dancing person to not to days that she didn't get out of bed.
And this is why you
What
annihilated
was the
your
religious
entire
group that
family,
she had migrated
including
towards,
Breezy?
the Eastern religion. Did you ever attend their services with your wife? Or
I was very supportive of my wife. I did not understand, nor did I follow this religious aspect. I was Roman Catholic. The way I was raised in a military family. My stepfather was a very proud military man. I was taught respect. I might.
Unresponsive.
Future question, Mr.
the
Ward.
question that was asked was, let me ask an entirely different question so we're no confusion. I want to make sure I tie up some loose ends. You mentioned Lyme disease, and that's somewhat prevalent in New England. Is that correct?
It seems like everybody has Lyme disease, yes.
And that is transmitted by insects, bugs also, correct?
That is correct.
All right. And then what were the effects on that on your wife that you noticed?
When the Lyme disease became apparent and positive, she had breathing problems, heart rate problems, chronic pains. When she had what was called exacerbations, so without getting too technical, your immune system is the best thing to keep any disease at bay. So whenever she didn't feel well, got sick, the Lyme would become more prevalent. So when the Lyme became more prevalent, not only did she have joint aches, she had feelings of hopelessness, depression, not wanting to go on certain days. There were some days where I helped her shave her legs because she couldn't bend over, she was in so much pain or couldn't breathe.
Mr. Todt, did your wife seek a different way to health through the Eastern religion?
Yes, she did, sir.
And was it diet-based or worship-based, or what were the parts that appealed to her, and what was she seeking?
She was seeking control over her own medical care. Basically, anybody in a chronic illness wants some kind of control of their own self. She went from traditional medicine, she went to religious following of dictating what her healthcare was. She even followed a book from a guy who listened to a ghost who had no medical experience to tell her what she should be doing, what she should be eating, and that kind of stuff, called the medical medium.
Was there any discussion within that religious group about an afterlife?
Yes. This religious group could be conducted mostly by Skype or whatever video thing was at the time. I think it was Skype.
Objection, hearsay.
No,
The means of technology. Oh, thank you.
I would sit with her during some of these meetings. They would give her prayers to pray, whether to help with what they were talking about with what was called family lineage karma burning. Because as in the Bible, Roman Catholic, the same thing she followed was the fact that your past, your past family's transgressions follow forward multiple generations. So as you asked, please repeat your question just so I can make sure I repeat correctly.
Was there an afterlife component of this religious practice?
Yes, there was an afterlife component in which each afterlife, she believed that there was reincarnation. And as they burned the family karma in the current life, they reached a salvation in which they were reincarnated to a better life.
And was her desire to seek better health through this process by going into another life?
Better health and better relationships with people who had abused her and had verbally and otherwise affected her in her life.
There was some discussion about a suicide note, and that was apparently directed from Detective Cole Miller to Dr. Nara. Were you aware of any suicide note?
When I came back to the house that day, she showed it to me, yes. But I had no knowledge of it before I came home that day.
You're not even
What was her
crying, bro.
demeanor or
Come
attitude
on.
at that time?
She was trying to explain to me what she did. Was trying to make me understand.
Okay, so Rubberhead, to answer your question, yeah, last night we listened to the medical examiner's testimony, and I could not understand why. I mean, I knew there was a reason she was doing it. I just wasn't sure what the reason was. Okay. But she continued to ask the medical examiner specific questions about specific vital organs. She asked about if there was any disease in any of the children's hearts. And then with Megan, she specifically asked about Megan's heart and her liver and if any disease was present. And the medical examiner testified that there was no disease present. So I think this is extra. This is lies on top of lies served on a plate of bullshit. And also the crying is not real. Like you guys didn't know
It
that.
was very,
This is
the whole
offensive and gross.
aspect of it was she was trying to present this as fact. And I was telling her, I don't believe that. I can't believe I called her some names, which I never called her before in my life. But the whole demeanor of it was, this is what I've been told through my meditations. This is what I believe. This is what, as she referred to as, the light has provided for her, and the light.
This is
Talking
not
about
going
your
good.
own demeanor and how your countenance.
My own demeanor, when I found out what happened, I puked. I cried. I was in total denial of what happened. I couldn't understand. And then after that, I was like, I want to get you help. I'll take responsibility for this. Just get help. That's all I wanted. I would do anything in my life to do what she needed, provide for what she needed, provide her a happy life. I held my wife on a pedestal. I didn't care anything to myself. I wanted her to have a good life, period. And I wanted her to get help. I didn't care.
We'll try and work on shorter sentences so that everyone can keep up, and I'll be.
My apologies, sir.
You're fine. Have you progressed from talking about the afterlife to talking about what happened to your children and your wife?
I don't understand what you mean, sir.
When you said what had happened with Megan, what were you talking about?
What had happened that day when I came home?
Which day?
I don't know.
You don't have to talk about calendar date. What was the occurrence that made that day memorable?
No,
home and my
the
kids were
answer is no, nonstop mom.
It was the most horrible day of my life. And what made me more horrible is my wife died in front of me also.
Had there been a blueberry pie that was cooked in the house?
According to what she told me.
Objection hearsay.
And
Just a sec, Mr. Todt. Response.
Describe what you know or saw and not what you heard from another person if you can.
thank you, sir. When I came home that morning, I knew my family the night before was having dessert, and I declined it because you saw my health. I was jogging and losing weight. I came home that morning, and there was a melted purple, looked like a pudding pie. I can't really tell you exactly what it was. She told me what it was later, but it was in a graham cracker crust. And the kitchen, it was my job to clean the kitchen. But when I came home, that purple, bluish, grapish, melted
It is nonstop mom. It is his
pie dish,
lawyer.
I'm saying, the pie dish was sitting there on the counter with some residue on the kids, that the kids places on their plates.
Yeah, I'm not buying that you were jogging either,
At that time
buddy.
you came in, you saw that there were desserts that had been served up on the table?
I saw the remnants of it, yes.
And then did you then discover that your children were dead?
Not initially, no. I had gone upstairs. Well, I had too much information, but I had to pee. So I went to the bathroom and came out, and my wife was at the top of the stairs. My house was very quiet. Very abnormal having 3 kids, one 13, one 10 at the time, the other one 4 years old. She brought me in the room, I had been feeling nauseous that morning anyways, because I had these shakes I was taking for weight loss, all that. And around the same time that she was telling me I was puking. It was then that I understood what had transpired. She had blood on her shirt. And after that, after I said a few uncolored words to her, I then discovered the kids. I went into the rooms and found them dead.
You saw the video yesterday where on the 15th, Cole Miller and another investigator in a tiny room talked to you at length. Did you have an agenda for that discussion?
I don't even remember that day. Last thing I remember was falling down the stairs and smacking my head on the stairs, which I resulted in a fracture of my neck. Next thing I knew, I woke up here. And seeing that video yesterday, that was the first time I saw that video. I had no agenda consciously, but I can tell you throughout my relationship with my wife, especially after she got sick, I would put myself as a forefront and take responsibility and protect my wife.
You said in the statement that you stabbed the children and there was blood everywhere. Do you remember that from yesterday's video?
I remember it just seeing on yesterday's video. I wasn't aware of anything I said till about June. So maybe June or July, 6 months after I got here, when I got the transcript of what I said that day.
Why did you say that you performed the incisions on the bellies of the children?
It goes back to the aspect is I was covering for my wife. Obviously unsuccessfully, because as you saw by the video, compared to what they said, I had no clue had my kids died.
Did you have ideas of joining your family in the afterlife?
After I saw everybody die, after I saw my wife die and saw my kids, most definitely. I wanted to be with them. That's the only thing I wanted to be. I didn't care by what means.
Hey,
I didn't care by what anything. I sliced my wrist. I took multiple doses of Benadryl. I tried to hang myself several times. I bought a pellet gun to shoot myself because I couldn't get a gun to, as you call it, eat a gun.
Did you ever try to poison yourself?
With Benadryl, yes. And also,
Wait a minute.
just under recently of medical care, and I was.
Yeah, I'm going to stop you right there, Todt. How is it that he is unaware of anything that he said that day until he read the transcripts, but he just testified exactly the order that he said in his interrogation? That is the order that he gave of the things that he tried to do unsuccessfully in an attempt to unalive himself. That is the exact order. So what happened? You don't remember what you said that day. You read it in a transcript and now you're repeating it? No. Hey, BR the Star. Yeah, it's been a minute. Good to see you.
Metformin for diabetes. And at one point, I swallowed the whole bottle of metformin.
Now, I think there was evidence that you remained in the house for up to 3 weeks after the day that
you
changed your family's entire future. During that time, how many attempts did you make to take your own life?
I would have to go through them to count because in my head I can't count them. Do you mind if I tell you?
So, can we close your eyes for about 15 minutes and
15 minutes
and try and formulate the answer?
Unconscious recollection, I can tell you I remember at least 8 times. However, since being here and through other diagnostic testing, I found out there were additional times. So 10 times at least.
Oh, now you know through
Okay, all right.
You didn't even close your eyes,
that you were,
by the way.
Trying to use?
Benadryl was one of the agents. There was also a knife I picked up. I saw my wife stab herself. How hard could it be to stab yourself? You gotta be freaking kidding me. You see a knife with a blade like this, and you want to instill that into your body? No way. I chickened out, yes. I tried other means. I tried at least 3 episodes of Benadryl.
And did you not keep it down and vomit, or what happened?
Benadryl, as you know, can make you sleepy, okay? The first time I took it, I didn't know what I was doing. I had no plan of this. I just wanted to be with my family. I woke up, I don't know when, how long. Obviously, I didn't take enough. Next time, I took a whole bunch of, the wall dry. I remember that distinctly because that stuff tastes horribly. But the children's, which is no different, it's just a better flavor. I took, I think it was equivalent of 5 glasses about this tall I had prepared, okay? I fell asleep before I finished it entirely. The last thing of Benadryl, which I took when going back and looking at the dates on whatever, it turned out the day before that they came to my house. I saw the aspect of the 12th on one of the phones. At that time, I took over 200 pills of Benadryl. Now, mind you, a normal dose of Benadryl is 2 pills. And I took 2 family-size liquid Benadryls. In order to stay awake, and also because I was feeling nauseous, I took a Mountain Dew and an energy drink. The energy drink to keep me up because I kept falling asleep, and the Mountain Dew so that I wouldn't throw this stuff up. I wanted this stuff in my system. I was so frustrated I couldn't kill myself.
In the crime scene photographs that were shown to the jury, there was a Huffy bicycle in a box.
Yeah.
And were you prepared to assemble that bike?
Oh, God, my babies.
Oh my God.
That was to be a Christmas present to my daughter. I hadn't picked up the boys' bikes yet because the boys were some of my best friends, and I could never say. I went over there that night to...
Ask your next question, Mr. Wesley.
Mo,
Did you
you
open
can't
the box?
put that
Did you
word in
assemble the
chat,
bike?
babe.
I never made it there to assemble the bike. That's where I went that night, to assemble that bike.
There are also numerous Christmas gifts, wrapped Christmas gifts that were shown in either the photographs or in the inventory that's collected. Did you and your wife buy gifts and have gifts ready for Christmas for your children?
Yes, some of those gifts were our new bed set. Not bed set, I apologize. Duvet cover and sheets and all that kind of stuff the boys picked up. There was even a dollhouse that we picked up for my daughter. It was her first dollhouse. And there was also presents there from the family that had been sent down, yes.
It's okay, babe. You didn't know.
Mr. Todt,
Why are you lying today?
what could have prohibited Megan from killing your children?
I have no idea. We woke up that morning, she was pain-free. Everything was good. I took the opportunity to try to go over and put the bike together. I had no...
Don't get her to type it again, recliner
I
detective.
had no knowledge of this. I don't know what could have prevented it. I have no idea. And that's the biggest thing that affects me is the fact that
No, you can't.
I didn't even see this coming.
The
They
K
say, blindsided. This was a
and
blindside by a
yourself.
Mack
You
truck
can't have those
filled with
together
dynamite.
in the chat. YouTube gets mad.
Sorry.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
Collect yourself.
Tissue or something. I'm sorry. Deputies.
Use your sleeve. You'll be all right. This is like,
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
yeah, like, yeah.
Do you mind if I turn around real quick? Can I turn around?
Turn around every now and then. Never mind.
Sorry.
Do you remember?
Did you poke yourself in the eye so you could make tears?
Sending
Is that what you
messages.
just did?
And having, I guess, prayer or singing sessions in Megan's memory and, information back?
I really do not understand that question, sir. I apologize.
Was the person who was thought to be the leader of this Indian or Eastern Indian religious group called Gari.
That was one of them, yes. That was the primary one, yes.
And they had individual contact with Megan, would leave messages for Megan and contact her.
Yeah, contacts would be via phone, via, like I said, the Skype computer thing, FaceTime sometimes.
This is the worst
And did they
telenovela
advise-
I've
did they
ever
contact you
seen.
to give you
Somebody
information
change the
that Megan had
channel.
crossed over?
They didn't tell me directly. They had contacted my sister, and my sister told me that she had a conversation, that Megan was at rest and she crossed over. I don't know where that, I don't understand it. But to hold it in my heart, she crossed over and she's at peace and not suffering. That's all I can hope for.
Mr. Todt, did you kill your family?
Yes. Oh,
Thank you, Your Honor.
that's it?
Thank you, Mr. Wesley.
Not only can I not believe that he tested, look, I'm not shocked that he testified.
Now cross-examination.
Yeah, we're going to take a break for the cross because this is too damn much. All right. I can believe that he testified, and here's why. Because of he had to get around, right? The evidence for them to get on the stand, witness after witness after witness. And I'm not even talking about like the medical examiner or the forensic pathologist, none of that. I'm talking about just the officers that were on the stand, right? And then on top of it, the crime scene pictures, okay? That he had to get around Christine Elizabeth. He had to get around the fact that he sat in that home for that amount of time. Look, I don't give a rat's fat kneecap if it was 1 day, a week, 2 weeks. 1 day is 1 day too many, period. Okay. And he had to get around all of that. And the only person that was going to be able to get around all of that would be for him to testify. However, his attorney is, first of all, the questions that that the attorney is asking are not even the questions that homeboy here is even answering. Okay. We're over here on Mr. Todt's Wild Ride. All right. Like he's not making a lick of sense and he's crying. He needs to do a whole turnaround and no eye contact. I can't look at, if I don't make eye contact, it's not happening. It's not in the now. Making up some religion that there's no evidence of at all that she was even researching or whatnot. I'm just freaking flabbergasted. Like, who woke up this morning and thought this was a good idea? Like, it's terrible. This is like the worst. And I've seen some bad telenovelas. I'm not even going to lie. This one is probably the worst. And it's not even an actual telenovela. This is, I'm rolling my eyes in Spanish right now. All right. Let's see what Madam Prosecutor has for him.
In December of 2019, what was Megan's medical conditions?
Megan's medical conditions consisted of neck pain, back pain, hypothyroidism, Lyme disease, heart rate issues, breathing issues.
And did all of these medical issues make her frail?
Frail is a very subjective term. Can you please be more descriptive?
Sure.
Please?
Did all of Megan's medical conditions make it hard for her to engage in everyday living?
Yes.
Did Megan's medical condition make it hard for her to walk?
At times, yes, but she hit it very well.
So going back to the date that you remember coming home to your family being gone, How was Megan walking that day?
She was walking fine. She had woken up pain-free the day before because she had told me that the light had interceded and the light had enabled her to do so.
Okay, so she was walking around fine.
Correct?
And did she complain to you at all about, you said she was pain-free, so she didn't have to take any medication?
She was on a whole list of herbal stuff, some of which I have no idea what she was taking. Plus she took this whole diet thing in which she would boil these mushrooms, in which she would do whole sorts of, there's so many things she would do.
Okay, so she was engaging in holistic practices. would you say?
Holistic and religious and spiritual practice, that's correct.
Okay, and you said that Megan had gotten diagnosed with Lyme disease as a teen.
That was her initial diagnosis, that's correct, and she had exacerbations. Like I told you before, the diagnosis.
My question was a yes or no question. Let me ask my next question.
Well, allow me to elaborate.
My question was a yes or no question.
Thank you.
After she was diagnosed, or you were told she was diagnosed with Lyme disease, how long was it before she experienced symptoms?
Which time?
The first time.
I didn't know
Anytime.
her when she initially got diagnosed with Lyme. She initially got diagnosed the first time when I was in 2011 and went through exacerbations, up and down cycles, all depending on her condition of her health, condition of her physically, condition of her mentally, condition of her stress-wise, condition of her emotionally.
And did she get diagnosed with Lyme disease as a teen or in 2011?
Like I explained before, I guess you want to say the jury is out of whether or not you have Lyme disease or Lyme exacerbations coming back and forth.
Okay.
She got diagnosed initially.
I don't have any other questions.
Allow me to finish, ma'am.
I don't have any other questions about that.
Burn. Wow. This is not going good.
Is it your testimony that from 2011 until December of 2019, Megan was suffering?
From 2011 to
Yes.
2019?
Yes.
Off and on, yes. But she consistently had all the breathing issues, the pain, and the heart rate issues, all depending on how bad they were and how bad they were affecting her to the day.
Prior to the day of the deaths, had Megan been suffering?
Most definitely.
When was the most recent time that she had been suffering?
Like I told you, I woke up that morning, all of a sudden she was pain-free. The night before, I had worked on her. I had worked on her continuously every day for over a year after she weaned from Zoe. Before she went to bed, when she woke up in the morning.
Okay, I'm gonna have to stop you right there. Y'all, this fool is a physical therapist. So much so that he had his own practice. This explains why he got in trouble for scamming Medicaid fraud, excuse me. That's not an actual term. Let me correct myself. Medicaid fraud. Hey, Lily, which means he was billing. Well, Nonstop Mom can tell us, billing for services that were not rendered, right? Okay. If this is how you explain your day-to-day, just normal, and I use normal loosely because it's relative, but you know what I'm saying? This is how you deal with issues, situations, life, right? No wonder you're in trouble with Medicaid. My gosh. This is bad, y'all. I was not ready. Like, I knew it couldn't be good. This is very, very rarely ever good when the defendant takes the stand, but this is,
To help with her pain so that we can get her to the regular doctors. She had a doctor's visit scheduled for the Thursday after Thanksgiving.
This
Forgive
is
me, I
this.
did not have the date, in which she canceled because she had said, there's no hope. There's nothing more that can be done.
Okay. So what kind of work did you do for Megan?
Did myofascial release, craniosacral, any type of relaxations my apologies, ma'am.
oh, don't try to be
Manual
people's
therapy, in
friends.
which I was trained under. Different things I would go to school for, or continuing ed for, to help treat her. Stuff I've read about, stuff I've gone through, everything within my scope of practice.
I'm asking you what you specifically did. So if you were
I'm telling
going
you
to
what I did.
treat her,
Yep,
what were the different things that you did?
that's what I'm trying to explain to you. Okay, there's no cookbook recipe in physical therapy. It's treating her ailments and treating her pains.
Okay,
So
so you
whether
did
or not Her liver was inflamed. I did myofascial release to help release the liver. She had digestive problems. I would do integrated manual therapy to help with those digestive problems. She had neck pain. I helped with her neck pain. She had relaxation issues and stress issues and heart rate issues and vagus nerve issues. I would help her desensitize that through craniosacral therapy. I would do anything she needed to get done to help her get better, to help her progress in her life.
Bro, I wouldn't even let you put a look on me,
The
much
mental health
less your
hired was
hands.
initially after Tyler was born to help here and there to bring the kids, bring my oldest son to C school. So that would have been 2010-ish, 2011-ish, but she was upped to more after she got sick to help provide through the assistance of her aunt who helped finance her and ourselves.
Okay. At what point was the mother's helper no longer necessary?
It was no longer never necessary. She had moved on to another career. We got another nanny.
I'm
worker,
convinced
that kind
this
of stuff,
fool
which Megan
has
did
a
not get along
debut.
with. Then she decided that warm weather was better, so she came down here. In many pleas to help get somebody else, we got a babysitter.
I think
in
his
which
lawyer just wants to be done.
You want to know the whole truth. I'm telling you the whole truth.
My question, at what point did you not have assisted help?
At what
Month
point?
and year?
After a year, let's see, we moved down here in 2014.
So
No, I apologize. Nope. Full-time was after Zoe, so full-time was 2016, she came down here. After that, we had no help because she fired the babysitter that we had.
Okay. So was Megan the caregiver for the children during the week?
Through the couple days that I was away, yes.
And you mentioned the couple days that you were away, you still had a practice up in Connecticut at the time,
We
right?
had a practice in Connecticut, that's correct.
And isn't it correct that you would travel during the week up to Connecticut?
That's correct, as long as my wife's issues and my wife's health dictated such. There were times in which I would literally land and I would get a phone call from my son or my wife that things are bad. and hop on the
Vincent's
first flight
missing
back.
here. I'm like
Did
freaking
that happen
done with
often?
you.
It happened quite a bit.
And when you say things were bad, is this mentally, physically, what are you talking about?
All the above, from the miscarriage and bleeding, to the fact of her ripping the shelves off the wall, my boy was scared, to her breaking the dishes, to her not being able to get out of bed. And then as things progressed, and I found that my older son was preparing a lot more meals, before I would leave for the couple days I was gone, I would make sure that
Objection,
there was-
non-responsive.
Ask your next question.
Oh, that was very bad. You don't
You
shake your
are
head
a
like,
practicing,
oh,
or you
boy.
indicated you're a practicing Roman Catholic.
I am a practice Roman Catholic trying to find, I'm a Christian based and migrated to more Christian based. However, I'm trying to find a church that suited me because Roman Catholic law did not.
Isn't it true that during your interview with Detective Miller, you indicated to Detective Miller that you were a forced Catholic?
Growing up, I was.
And at what point in time did Megan, and I'm asking for a year and a month, if you know, at what point in time did Megan begin
At
seeking
125,
other religion?
look, I'll put him at normal.
alternatives?
I promise you it's not that much.
In what regards, in
Watch.
what capacity do you speak of, ma'am?
You indicated that she initially was Catholic with you
Mm-hmm.
and that she sought other religious alternatives.
Well,
When did she do that?
let me correct your chronology if I may. She came back and got confirmed because we were going to get married in a Catholic church. She was not a practicing Catholic at the time, except for going here and there and practicing Easter. Okay? When she got her yoga certification, she got introduced to this new gallery through one of the things. That was in
When?
2009. After she got sick in 2011, she progressed 2012, 2013 to Gallery and Mirabai.
Are those even real
You
things?
said 2012 and 13?
Correct, after she got sick.
When did you become aware
When did I become aware of what?
that Megan was going towards this alternate religion?
When she told me. Initially, she would share her yoga certifications and her courses. And then in 2012, 2013, she would have me sit in on her teleconferences or whatever you want to call them. And I saw her progressing further and further away from medical towards the spiritual aspect.
King,
Okay.
bird. Yeah. Like that. This is exactly like that.
Excuse me for one second.
Y'all should start.
Going to the day
I think he
that
should
this
be charged
happened,
for those
that
tissues.
You said you came home. Where were you coming home from?
I had decided with my wife's conversation the night before that I would take the opportunity to go over, do some maintenance issues of the condo, and to put together my daughter's bike.
Okay, so did you leave the night before or in the morning?
The night before the morning of what, ma'am?
When you came home and said you found your children dead?
I left the night before, after dinner.
When?
After dinner.
What time?
Ma'am, I was on vacation. I don't know the time. I can tell you it was after dinner time because we sat there and I had my shake prepared and helped leftovers. I had gone over there and realized that my kids did not put the tools in my van, so I walked back and played basketball with them for a couple hours.
Okay, so did you finish dinner first?
I didn't eat dinner. My kids finished dinner, yes.
Did your children finish their entire dinner before you left?
They finished the dinner that was provided with them. I don't know if they ate afterwards.
Did you said it was your job to clean the kitchen. Did you clean the kitchen?
No.
So,
Leftovers, we throw stuff away. There's nothing to clean.
okay, so you didn't clean any, I don't understand what your job is to clean the kitchen and even that.
Pots, pans, that kind of stuff. Nothing was there because we didn't cook. We had leftovers. We
Okay,
had,
okay,
what's it called? Hummus toast. They had
okay.
hummus toast.
And you said you weren't hungry, or you?
I had a shake. I wasn't going to eat at the time. No.
Okay. And did Megan eat?
You know, I don't know.
And did you have one vehicle or two vehicles in Florida?
In Florida, one.
One vehicle. And that was the red van?
Yes.
And how long after dinner did you go over to the condo?
After dinner, it's hard to say. 30, 45 minutes after everything was completed. I was like, I'm going to sleep out. I took the van over because I was preparing to bring more stuff back from the condo to the house, kids' toys and that kind of stuff.
What kind of stuff did you have at the condo?
We have a whole second residence there. The kids' toys, my daughter's blocks. The kids wanted some of their books, some of their stuffed animals, some of that. Enough stuff I wasn't going to carry, so I was going to put it in the van.
When you moved to 202 Reserve Place, what did you take with you from the condo?
What did we take with the condo? Clothes.
Is that it?
Maybe some dishware.
And how long had you bought the condo in 2005, right?
That's correct.
When did it become fully furnished?
The condo?
Yes.
Let's see, we bought it in July 2005, maybe August. No, I apologize. There was a renter in there, so October. October 2005.
Okay, so in October 2005, you fully furnished the condo.
The condo, that's correct.
Did you ever live there full time?
What do you mean?
Did you ever live at the condo full time?
My wife and I lived in the condo from October 2005, thereabouts, until July 2006, when we moved up to have my son in Connecticut, in which we bought that house up there and rented the condo out.
Okay, did you ever move back into the condo?
Yes.
When?
Full-time, as in after selling the house. I think we sold the house in 2017 or 2018 in Connecticut. So my wife had started snowbirding. I want to say 2014, 2015, and she made it permanent in 2016 or 17.
During the time that you rented the condo, did you leave it fully furnished or did you have renters furnish it?
We had renters furnish it. I moved all that stuff back up to Connecticut.
And on the night after dinner, is it your testimony that you got in the van and drove over to the condo?
Yes.
And the condo really wasn't that far from 202 Reserve Place, right?
No, because of one-way streets and all that, it took me 5 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you get to the condo. What do you do when you get there?
I go in the back of the,
Recliner detective, you're right. They make good money. My mom was a traveling histologist and she made really, really, really good money doing that. This is just I can't even follow the timeline because I'm so distracted by the way that all of it, and none of it seems right at all. Like, he can't even get the timeline of events that don't have anything to do with the day of, correct. He's changed the years, I think, a few times. I mean, am I the only person that hears him changing the years of when they did certain things? I think he's melting my brain, you guys. This is terrible. What can they object? She's objecting. Like, she's the one doing it. His attorneys are just, I don't know, maybe they went to lunch. I don't know what they're doing. But I'm telling you, how can it possibly get worse, Sugar Beet? Oh, by the way, everybody, today is Sugar Beet's birthday. Please wish Sugar Beet a very happy birthday. How can it get worse, Sugar Beet? How? I'm telling you guys, I feel like I've lost at least 50, 1100 brain cells. Like I'm to the point where I've got probably 3 good brain cells left, and they're all arguing. This is bad news bears. All right, let's see what else.
Back of the car to get my tool bag out that I asked the boys to put in, realized it wasn't there. So I walked back.
Did you ever make it up to the condo?
No.
And you tested, what do you do with the van?
Left it there because I walked back to get the tool bag, in which I looked at the boys. I'm like, did you guys forget something? And they looked under the basketball hoop, and I'm like, oh, the van was locked. The tools are there. So we wrestled a little bit, and they asked me to play basketball. I had a friend who always told me to take every opportunity to play with the kids because you never know when they're not going to play with you. So we played basketball for a while. We played horse. We played a whole bunch of basketball games.
For how long?
Ma'am, you're asking me, I don't know. Sunlight's up longer here. Hour and a half. I don't know.
Was it still sunny out when you left?
There was sun in the sky. I can't tell you what capacity. It was still light outside.
Okay. About what time did you usually eat dinner?
It depended on what activities there were. That night, probably about 5-ish, 5:30. Some nights at 8, some nights at 7. It all depended.
Okay. Is it fair to say that the kids probably ate between 5 and 8?
It could have been 4:30. It could have been 4. All depended on activity. If they ate early, we had a later night snack.
Okay. So what happens after you play basketball?
I told the boys it was getting late. Megan had told me that she wanted to go to bed early that night because everybody had just gotten over the stomach bug and didn't want to be sick for Christmas.
Okay.
So I said, go into your mom. I'm going. Good night. I'm going over. Just remind mommy I won't be home. I'll either be sleeping in the condo or the, the studio apartment above the garage, because I was a bull in a china closet. You saw how big I was. I was a klutz.
Did you often not sleep at home with your wife?
Yeah, when I traveled to Connecticut.
What about when you weren't in Connecticut?
Most of the time I slept with my wife. That night I said I would take the opportunity to go put together my bike, or my daughter's bike, fix the door, garbage disposal, run bleach down the air conditioner, normal maintenance stuff. And she didn't want me waking her up.
Okay. So how do you get back to the condo?
I walk.
And what tools do you bring with you?
It was a tool bag full of, there's what they call socket wrenches, screwdrivers, a gross array of all tools. I had a utility bag.
Okay. So you carry the utility bag and you walk over to the condo, right?
I walk over to the van, that's correct.
So you walk to the van?
Yeah.
What do you do with the van?
I realized the phone, what I realized it wasn't the phone, it was an iPod that was lacking the charge. So I went in, knowing I didn't have a charger up in the condo. I had a car charger. So I sat in there, decided to take a rest because I was exhausted as I charged the phone.
Okay. So how long are you in the van?
I fell asleep.
What kind of phone charger did you have in the van?
Is it a plug into the, what's it called? Cigarette lighter thing.
Did you have a phone charger back at 202 Reserve Place?
Oh yeah, that's where they all were.
So how long are you sleeping in the van?
I woke up by the sunshine the next morning.
So you slept the entire night in the van?
I'm sure I woke up at one point or another and went back to sleep. It was not uncurrent. I used to fall asleep in the pickup line to pick up my kids at school.
Okay, so did you sleep in the front seat, the passenger?
Front driver's seat.
Front driver's seat, okay. Did you ever go inside the condo?
Nope, never made it up there. Because I woke up and realized the sun was up, so obviously it was later than the 4 o'clock I usually woke up to treat my wife. And I didn't want to be in the doghouse, but with her waking up and being in pain and me not being there and not being able to provide for her.
Okay, so what time did you wake up?
Sunlight was up. What time sunrise in Florida?
So do you drive back to 202 Reserve Place or do you walk?
I walked.
Okay, why did you drive over to Longview Avenue in the first place then?
As I repeated the first, which was already said, I was bringing stuff back from the condo that were of my kids that they wanted back. Obviously, I'm not going to carry a whole bag of whatever in my hands, so I brought the van to load in all the blocks, load in some of the kids' their Lego toys, bring back some of the stuffed animals.
Okay. So you get back and now it's daylight.
The sun is up, yes.
And which door of the house you go into?
Back door.
So you go in the back door and what do?
Go to pee. Okay. After I walk through the kitchen and saw the remnants of everything.
Okay. So you see everything still on the table. You pass the bathroom to go upstairs, right?
No, I went to the bathroom downstairs.
Okay. I thought earlier you testified that you went upstairs to go to the bathroom.
After I went to the bathroom. What I testified was I went to the bathroom, then went upstairs to meet my wife.
Okay. So at what point did she come to the top of the stairs then?
When I came out of the bathroom downstairs, she must have heard motion. She was at the top of the stairs.
Okay. So were the doors to the library open or closed?
Don't know. Didn't see him.
Is the library not close to the stairs?
The library is past the stairs. That's correct. But when you have to pee, you have to pee.
Well, you're standing at the bottom of the stairs looking up at Megan at the stairs. You can't see the doors to the library?
Ma'am, can you see that gentleman back there?
Mike, you don't ask me questions. I ask you questions. Can you see the door to the library when you're standing at the stairs looking up at Megan?
No.
Okay. And you're engaging with Megan, and what is Megan's demeanor? Not what she says, what is she doing and how is she appear to you?
She's standing at the top of the stairs. She has tears in her eyes and said, "You're alive."
Okay. And what is she wearing?
She's wearing my gray HydroWorks shirt, which is something she usually slept in. And she's wearing some kind of pants of some sort. She had clothes on.
And did she have any injuries at that point?
Ma'am, she was standing there. She was fine. I don't know. I hugged her, kissed her, told her, "I'm sorry I'm late."
Okay, and so what happens next?
I go into the bedroom because I wasn't feeling well, and she wanted to talk to me in the bedroom.
Okay, and what happens next?
We start communicating, and like I said, when I woke up, I felt nauseous anyways, and I don't know if it was because of the nauseous I woke up with or what she was telling me. I puked.
Okay, and so are you in the master bathroom?
That's correct.
And where's Megan?
You know, she's somewhere behind me.
So you don't know?
She's talking within voice distance. I can't tell if she's this distance away or she's this distance away.
Is she in the bathroom?
Like I said, I can't tell. You're asking me specific. She's in the room someplace.
So if you don't know, your answer is I don't know. Do you know if Megan's in the bathroom?
I do not know if the Megan's in the bathroom.
Okay. But Megan is talking to you.
That's correct.
And after you're done in the bathroom, where do you go?
Do you want the whole chain of events or do you want?
Which room of the house do you go into after you leave the bathroom?
So I go into my master bedroom, then walk through the door into the hallway and walk into Zoe's room.
And is Alec and Tyler's door open?
That I don't recall, ma'am. I'm sorry.
Why did you go to Zoe's room?
Because she said she said the kids were dead. And Zoe was my little angel. That's the first one I went to.
So when you get into Zoe's room, what do you see?
There's a pillow on her head. There's a hand and there's covers on top of her. She's laying on her mattress on the floor. The mattress is on the floor. She's laying on her mattress.
What do you do?
I went over to her. I uncovered her mouth, uncovered her face with a pillow. She had told me that she had stabbed the kids. So of course I looked for blood. I looked for anything. Looked for any sign of life. There was nothing. I turned back to her and I said, I thought you stabbed her. She says, I thought I did. I didn't know. It bounced off of her.
Okay. So after you discover Zoe, what do you do?
I went to the bathroom and picked up a washcloth. Her mouth was open. Her eyes were open. She looked uncomfortable. It's my normal demeanor to help put my kids in rest. Don't ask me why I did it. I was trying to close her eyes.
Okay, so where's Megan when you're doing
Somewhere
this?
behind me. She was following me, talking to me. At one point, she was standing in the doorway, talking to me from the doorway to me because I was asking her. I said, I thought you stabbed the kids.
Okay, so you said you had charged your phone the night before. Did you have your phone?
I said I plugged it in and attempted to charge. Little did I know that the charger was not a direct charger. It had to have the engine on. The battery never charged. And I also found out that phone wasn't an active phone. That was a phone that we used for things. So no, it was not charged and it was not a techno phone.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Were there other phones in the house?
There were other possessions of phones in the house, but Megan hid them and would not tell me where she hid them.
Oh,
So
that's a bummer.
It's your testimony that you could not have called anybody.
That's correct. I didn't have a phone.
You couldn't.
And it's daylight, right?
Yep.
You don't have neighbors?
Is it during the week? Is it on the weekend?
It's on a day that the sun was up. I do not know the days. The only isolation of days I've been given is from a receipt that I saw up there.
Oh,
so
okay.
My question is it during the week or during the weekend? So your answer is what?
A day that sun was up. That's all I know.
Oh, it was a day that ended in
And-
DAY. Got it.
After you finish with Zoe, what do you do?
Megan was standing there trying to plead with me to talk. She kept bringing up the story of Thomas, the disbeliever, because she wanted me to believe what she was doing. Brushed her out of the way, and I went to Alex's room.
And who was in Alex's room?
Alec.
Where was Tyler?
Tyler was found downstairs.
And was Tyler in the library?
Yes.
So Alec, which bed was Alex?
Alex was the one, when you walk into the room, you walk in from the door, you have a square bookcase headboard thing. His was the one on this wall. Tyler's was the one on that wall.
Okay. And what'd you find in Tyler's room? Or
Alex's room?
In Alec and Tyler's room.
Yeah. Alec was on his back, pillow over his head, covers over him, and there was blood.
How much blood?
Enough that I noticed, I can't really tell you, because I pulled back the blankets. The shirt had some blood on it, and there was blood on the abdomen.
Was there blood on the blankets?
Didn't inspect it. My goal was to see if they were alive, and my goal was to see what the hell happened.
Okay.
My language.
So after you see Alec, do you go downstairs to Tyler?
No, I actually do the same thing with the washcloth. His eyes were open, and his mouth was gently slack, looked uncomfortable. Normal father thing is to relax their head and relax, and I was just providing them comfort.
Okay.
No, a normal father thing would be to go get their
So
kids
after
help.
you do this with Alec, where do you go?
Tyler.
Okay.
I confirmed with Megan that Tyler was downstairs. Once again, brushed her aside as she's trying to convince me to see things in her light. I told her to leave me the hell alone, and I went down the stairs.
Okay. Do you immediately go into the library?
I opened the door to go into the library, yes.
So the library door was closed.
That I found out when I went downstairs, yes.
So there's a couch in the library, right?
Yeah, among shelves and a carpet and some toys, yes.
I'm just talking about the couch. Is that couch?
She wasn't
a
asking
pull-out
about
couch?
your
Yes, it is.
interior design.
So when you go in there, is the
Choices.
couch pulled out?
He's sleeping on the bed at a pull-out couch, yes.
And what do you find with Tyler?
Tyler's on his back, hand out to the side, blankets over him, pillow over his face, and then when I remove the blankets, there's blood there.
Okay. And do you do the same thing with a washcloth with Tyler?
Unfortunately, I didn't go to the bathroom to what's it called, refresh it. It was just on me.
Okay. And where's Megan?
She's at that point standing at the library door, pleading with me to talk.
At that point, did Megan have anything?
She has some kind of, we have metal glasses, cups. She had that and she was drinking something.
When this is all happening and after you finish with Tyler, where do you go?
Megan at that point had gone up to the bedroom already. And I went up there and told her she needed to get help. I don't care what happened. I don't care what she did. Get help. I will take responsibility. I will do whatever it needs. Please go to the hospital. Tell me where the phones are. Because I'd asked her for the phones where initially. And she goes, I'm not telling you.
Okay. And this conversation is happening where
In the master bedroom.
in the master bedroom? Okay. And where is Megan at when you're having this conversation?
Fluid throughout the bedroom and the bathroom, going back and forth. At one point, I went into the bathroom because there was a Benadryl bottle on the floor. And I went into the bathroom and found a garbage bag in which I threw the Benadryl away as I'm looking for the phones.
You're right.
Okay.
I know when I see it come
And
upon
is
a
Megan
scene
just
of,
kind of
hold on
walking
a
around?
minute.
Is she following you? What is she doing?
At that point, she's
Yeah, I mean, it's completely natural, you guys. I think you guys are judging him way harsh, because let me just say this. When you come home and you find your children are no longer alive and your wife is saying that she did it, your first inclination is to tidy up, because, should anybody come upon the house, you don't want them to think that you live like a pig.
standing at
Lord.
the side of when I left her to go throw the Benadryl bottle away and look for the phones, she was standing at the side of the bed,
On which side?
on her side.
On her side of the bed. So that would be the right side, right?
If you're looking from the foot of the bed, that is correct.
Okay. And does she still have this cup in her hand?
The cup is being up to herself, back down. When I left, the cup was still in her hand.
Where did you go?
Into the bathroom.
So you're in the bathroom.
Mm-hmm.
Are you at the vanity? Are you in the little stall where the toilet is? Are you in the closet? Where in the bathroom are you?
I'm bouncing around all place, in the closet and around looking for the phones.
Okay, so you're looking for the phones. You're not using the bathroom.
At that point, no.
And Megan is within the master bedroom, master bathroom.
No, she's in the master bedroom.
She's in the master bedroom.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're standing in your master bathroom, can you see in the bedroom?
I can see partial in the bedroom,
What part of the bedroom can you see if you're in the bathroom?
as shown on the photos, if I may reference that.
Yeah.
I could see the green chair and the, what are they called? My mom used to call it a hope chest, but we had a,
The chest at the foot of the bed?
yes.
A trunk.
So you can see that view from the bathroom. Is Megan within your view?
No, she's standing by her end table. When I left her, she's standing by the end table on her side of the bed.
Okay. And how long are you in
Those
the
are not
bathroom?
end tables. Those are nightstands,
minutes.
but okay.
What happens when
Words
you
are
come out of the
hard. I
bathroom?
get it.
As I'm walking out of the bathroom, I hear a sound that is similar to a balloon, like you rub a balloon, like a, at which point I poke my head out, as we're coming out, and I see her laying on her back, stabbing herself.
Where at? Is she in the bed? Is she
She's
the
laying
floor?
on her back, on her side of the bed, with her head on the pillow, laying on her back, on top of sheets, with the knife in her abdomen.
What color was the knife?
The knife was the only knife that was there, was a green buck knife that I bought for the kids as a Christmas present as part of their fishing lures.
Okay, so she has a green knife.
That's correct.
Is she right-handed or left-handed?
Green handled knife.
Green-handled knife.
Oh,
Is she
get that
right-handed or
right.
left-handed?
She's right-handed.
And which hand was on the knife?
Both hands were on the knife.
Both hands were on the knife.
Yes.
And you said that the knife was in her abdomen
Yes.
when you came out of the bathroom.
Yes.
What'd you do?
I stood there in shock. And I said, "What the hell are you doing?"
Oh, this is the time you
And
want
at
to
that
have a
point, she says, "I'm doing what I
conversation.
did to the boys. I'm trying to get my inferior vena cava." She said, "I'm doing what I did to the boys, trying to get my inferior vena cava."
Did you go for help?
I went over to my wife and pleaded for her to tell me where the phones were. She asked me not to leave her. She did not leave the boys.
So my question is, did you go for help? Yes or no?
The answer is no.
After Megan dies, how long, what do you do? What do you do?
Well, we skipped over quite a bit there. I don't know if you want to go through everything or not.
What?
What did you do after Megan died?
What did I do? I yelled out the window to see if anybody was around to help.
Oh, did
There was some
you?
weird sound coming from her mouth. I thought she was breathing. I started CPR after I wiped her mouth off with that gray pillow.
Okay, so she stabs herself once or twice?
Like I said before, she stabbed herself a cumulative times of twice.
Okay. And these are right after each other?
That is no.
Okay, so what happens?
She stabbed herself the first time. I sat there pleading with her to allow me to find the phones, to allow me to leave her to go get help.
So you had a
My
full-on
loyalty is to my
conversation
wife.
with her, and you never tried to get
She
the
did not
knife
want to be
away
alone.
from her? What are you
I thought if I
doing?
stood there, she said she was going through the inferior vena cava. I have medical experience to know that one of those major arteries will bleed out quickly. In the area of the house, we liked the house rental because there was no one around. Neighbors weren't there. Most of the neighbors around us were snowbirds.
So why'd you yell
I
out the
left her,
window?
I thought she was going to die.
Hold on a minute.
I
Hold on a
thought
minute.
in
Hold on
my
a minute. Hold on a minute.
Decision-making,
Bruh, your neighbors are snowbirds. It was December. That's when the snowbirds come. The snowbirds leave before spring break. So right around the end of February, the first week of March, because March is when spring break is. The beginning of March is when everybody in the United States all over that whole month has spring break. And that's when the tourists come. Stop playing with these people.
the best chance was for her to tell me where the phones were. At one point, I hate to say I annoyed her. I was trying to convince her, trying to talk in her language, saying, obviously the universe doesn't want you to go. She says, I want to be with my kids. I need to be with my kids. So I leave.
Objection, non-responsive. What do you do after Megan dies?
Like I said, I yell out the front window of our bedroom for anybody. Help, 202, please. I don't know where the phones are. I hear some kind of weird breathing, some kind of weird air exchange, something. No heartbeat. They never went over that in CPR class. But you know what? I was trying anything. So I started CPR chest compressions. And when I didn't see her breathing, I would do mouth compressions. I didn't care about the blood. I didn't care about all that.
Okay.
What do you do after this?
Let's erect a statue.
At what point are you referencing?
What do you do the rest of the day? It's the morning. What do you do the rest of the day?
I literally broke down there and cried. Don't ask me how long, because I have no idea how long.
Okay.
I was in a state of confusion.
Oh, all right.
I was in a state of whatever.
Oh, I've been
I
in
couldn't
that
help my
state
wife
before.
pass. I felt a failure.
That's next to the state
I
of
wasn't there the
bullshit.
night my kids were died. I felt a failure. I decided that I wanted to be with my family, that I wanted to die, that I deserved to die. I condemned myself to death. I was ashamed.
What did you do?
I sat there and cried for a while. At some point that I realized now, after seeing the receipt up there, I decided I was going to go and get a gun. At some point, as the receipt said, on 12/18, I went and purchased that first pellet gun. after I inquired of purchasing a gun to find out that there's a 3-day rule in Florida. I've never purchased a gun before,
There's a 3-day rule
purchased a gun.
everywhere.
which was a gun, a pellet gun, that I was planning to give my kids, my boys, a Christmas present with. I
What
left
kind
and
of
came
gun?
back.
What kind of gun were you trying to buy?
Any gun they would sell me.
Did you try and buy a shotgun?
No, I tried to buy, I was trying to buy handguns. I inquired with them. I didn't inquire on a specific model. I said, I've never bought a gun before. How do I go about buying a gun?
Are you aware that the wait period doesn't apply to a shotgun?
And I've never bought a gun before.
Well, you inquired about buying a gun, right?
I inquired about buying a gun.
So this trip to Academy happened after everybody in your family was dead.
That's correct.
So on 12/18, the day of that receipt, everybody in your family was dead.
That's correct.
So then why did you buy a
And
pellet
was
gun
everybody
for
in
a
your family
Christmas present?
alive for the awards banquet on December 14th of 2019?
That was a Saturday, correct?
It was the day of the awards, the day that Alec and Tyler got awards.
Yes, they were both attendants. They played their recital.
So how soon after their deaths did you go to Academy?
Well, if that was the 14th, I went the 18th, so that was 4 days later.
So how soon after they died did you go to Academy?
I don't know timeline. I know sun was up and I went over. Could it have been the same day? Most likely.
Okay. So
What?
did you go anywhere else besides Academy?
On that day?
Between December 18th that day and January 13th, where did you go?
I went to CVS for Benadryl,
How many times?
I think twice. I also went to Walgreens for Benadryl for that wall dry.
How many times?
Well, considering wall dry was disgusting, only once
Mm.
that I remember.
Did you go anywhere else?
I picked up food, a Galumki, one night at Publix.
Anywhere else?
Not that I recall.
Did you go to Sarasota?
No. There was no way I could drive to Sarasota.
Oh,
Did
no way.
you
Okay.
leave your phone at a Starbucks in Sarasota?
If I didn't go to Sarasota, I didn't leave my phone.
How come you're
So you're
what?
denying that you went to Starbucks in Sarasota?
In Sarasota, that's correct.
And so you never went to the beach in Sarasota?
Nope. It was over 2 hours away. There was no way I could drive.
And you did see the interview that was played yesterday, right?
Correct. I did see the interview.
And
You told
you
them.
did speak with the detective more than one time, right?
That's what they tell me.
You're denying this knowledge?
Ma'am, I don't even remember talking to the interview that day.
So you don't remember talking to the detective on January 15th of 2020?
Last thing I remember was falling down the stairs and saying, "You hold on to somebody in custody, deputy." Next thing I knew, I woke up in jail. I thought I was in purgatory with the red floor and the bright sky.
Okay, so you discussed a lot of information, wouldn't you agree, in the January 15th, 2020 interview?
From what I saw, yes. And from what I read, yes.
And you
I didn't know that
adequately
purgatory
discussed
had a
Megan's
floor. Huh.
health conditions
Okay.
that you were aware of, correct?
Correct. The ones that she suffered for the previous 8 years with, yes.
And you also spoke about various trips to Academy.
That's what I said, yes.
And you went to Academy at some point as well to purchase a longer knife.
That's correct.
And isn't it true that you also said in the interview, you spoke about the note that was left?
That's correct.
And you told law enforcement that you printed it after Megan's death.
Correct.
And you testified here today that that wasn't true.
That's correct.
And that wasn't the first time you told that to law enforcement, was it?
Well, actually, let me correct the facts on that case, please, if you may. The initial note was the one I didn't print out.
Oh,
The note I found in my pocket after, which is the note Meg printed out, that I found in my pocket after I urinated myself in the garage after one hallucination and drank what I thought was coffee, but I'm pretty sure it was motor oil. I went into the house, stripping, and found the note in my pocket.
Which note?
The note Megan had left.
what?
What was on that note?
Hold on a minute.
On that note was essentially, I didn't read this note,
You guys.
but from what I recall, it said we did it to the family, which she referred to as family lineage. I had a different relationship, a different definition of family. And the other thing was where she wanted her ashes. At the bottom of that note, it said, Tony, I love you forever. Please forgive me.
What did you do with it?
What did I do with that?
Yeah.
I took it out of my urine-soaked pants and retyped it because I wanted my residual family or my leftover, the family that was alive, to keep the knowledge that we were a family unit. And I wanted my wife to know, I want my wife's wishes known where she wanted the ashes buried. She wanted to be buried with her father, where we released the ashes at Harkness.
Yeah.
Was
Hold on a minute.
Right.
We gotta look. No. Let me back the milk truck up significantly. So you're telling me that you ate, I shouldn't say ate, you ingested by various means copious amounts of Benadryl, peed your pants, and drank motor oil, and you're still alive. You have got to either be the luckiest or the unluckiest lying liar mouth who tells lies I have heard of in a very long time. Now, you cannot operate a motor vehicle, which is why you didn't go to Sarasota where your phone was found at the Starbucks. Okay. You hallucinated and peed your pants, yet you had the wherewithal to take your urine-soaked, the note out of your urine-soaked pants, read it, as it were, remember what it said before you peed all over it, and think to yourself, I don't want anybody to mess up my wife's final wishes. Let me sit my ass down and retype this note. Wow.
And did you ultimately throw it away?
I ultimately put it in there was a fan box in the kitchen. After I typed it, and I typed a second one that was, when I retyped it, there was some errors in it. So I put the urine-soaked one and the one with errors in it in that fan box.
Right, because
After I fixed the door with my father-in-law who died in 2002.
What? What door?
So was this the same day that you came home?
No.
That this note was, when did you find this note?
When did I find the note in my pocket?
Yes.
After I woke up after one of my suicide attempts of Benadryl that I ended up in the garage. I can't tell you. Sometime after Christmas.
Was this note in a pair of pants, in a shirt?
It was in my black shorts.
In your shorts?
Yeah, the one of two pair that only fit me.
So you only had two pairs of shorts that fit you?
I had two pair of black shorts and a pair of khaki shorts.
And how often did you wear these shorts?
When I went back I had a pair of Umbro shorts too. But those are the two dress shorts I had.
So how often did you wear them?
Daily.
And you never discovered this note in your pocket before?
Ma'am, I can't tell you I changed. You saw the condition of my hair. You saw the condition of my face. I can't tell you what I did. I was on autopilot.
Okay.
You're telling us
So,
what you did right
You
now.
actually, the note that was left on the green chair is something that you actually authored.
I actually edited. That's correct.
Oh, perfect.
Okay. And you printed it out
That's correct.
and you left it on the green chair.
Actually, I gave it to my mother who was sitting in the green chair for her to read.
Your mother was there?
Oh, my mother was there. My father-in-law that died in 2002. My aunt that died in 2013. Quite a few people were there.
Oh,
Okay.
It was like a
So-
Christmas carol up in that mug. You had the ghost of Christmas past,
In
the
your
ghost of
interviews,
Christmas present, and the ghost of Christmas future.
you
Holy moly,
describe
Ebenezer
in
Scrooge.
detail how you take the lives of each one of your children, correct?
That's what the video showed, yes.
And you indicated in the video that you began with Zoe, correct?
That's correct.
And that you went in, this was after you and Megan had an agreement and you spoke about various websites and all of this research that you did. And you're sitting here today saying that that's not the case.
That is not the case. Megan told me the order she killed the kids.
Okay.
Megan did research, would send things over. Did I research? Yes, I researched for years on my wife's illness. Okay?
Right,
Now,
Sugar Bee?
as
He
you're
had a
aware
whole
through your
sixth sense
experience,
moment there.
People believe they're Hitler.
Huh? Why
Did you conduct any research that you told detectives that you conducted?
Are you just going to
On which
bring up
subject, ma'am?
every person who's
you
ever
go
died
to
ever
Florida,
into
huh?
this story?
Yeah, that was a normal website I went to.
And did you Google different knife techniques?
Yes, because I had under my suspicion that the fact, well, I found the website on Megan's phone after I initially found that, after I found the phones. And I also looked up other ways to kill myself.
And my question now is, did you watch numerous videos about going to the afterlife?
I watched numerous videos with my wife about alien and her alien, what's it called?
We
I
don't
want to call it an
know.
infatuation, but she believed in UFOs, aliens. Those are the videos. I've never seen a video about her afterlife. I've only,
So everything that you told the detectives, the multiple times that you spoke to them, is not true.
number one. don't
Yes or
remember-
no? What you told detectives about you conducting the research with Megan and watching all of these videos on the afterlife is not true, yes or no?
I did not watch videos on the afterlife.
And is it true that the multiple times that you spoke to detectives, that you told detectives that you went into Zoe's room, you gathered the courage, and you rolled over on top of your daughter until she suffocated? Isn't
Yeah.
that what you told law enforcement?
Is this a yes or no question, or do you want the answer?
Yes or no question?
That is what the video, yes, showed you.
And your testimony here today is that Megan did it.
Megan killed Zoe.
And you told the detectives multiple times that after Zoe, you went to Alec's room. And Alec was your oldest son, correct?
That's correct.
And Alec was 13 years old and he was the strongest, right?
That is incorrect, ma'am.
Oh,
Who was
what?
the strongest?
Tyler is downstairs.
Okay, so you go to Alec's room next because Alec's upstairs,
That's correct.
right? And you told law enforcement on multiple occasions that you went into Alec's room and you stabbed Alec and you suffocated Alec. Isn't that correct?
That's partially correct.
Huh?
And isn't it true that you initially told law enforcement multiple times that Megan was in there during that killing?
That's what the video showed, yes.
And isn't it true that you also told law enforcement that Megan took part in the killing?
That's what the video showed, that's correct.
And that in fact, Megan held Alec's legs down while you suffocated Alec?
That's what the video showed, that's correct.
And your testimony today is that that is not true?
My testimony today is the fact that Megan killed her kids and killed herself.
Okay, so
Oh, they're her kids now?
Next,
They're not your
you
kids?
told
Okay.
law enforcement that you went to Tyler's room.
No.
Well,
I went
actually,
to the
not
library.
Tyler's room. You went to the library,
That's correct.
right? And that you had to be fast when you killed Tyler, correct?
Most definitely. He was the fastest and strongest kid.
So he's the fastest and strongest kid, and you told law enforcement that you were afraid he was gonna get away, right?
That's what Meg told me, yes.
That's not my question. You told law enforcement
Oh, yeah, on
multiple
the video.
times that Tyler was
Hey,
fast. and
Rojo,
he-
good
You
to
saw
see
the video,
you.
and you saw the
Welcome.
video also of saying I
Yeah,
said things
this
that
is
has been
ridiculous.
proven
We're all
incorrect.
incredulous at this point.
That's not responsive to my question.
Actually, it is. But
Yes
go ahead.
or no?
You didn't say yes or no, ma'am. I
Yes
apologize.
or no?
Now
Did
she's saying
Did you
it.
tell law enforcement that you had to kill Tyler quickly because he was the fastest?
That's what I told you, law enforcement. That is correct.
And you also told law enforcement, yes or no, that Megan had to stand on the other side of the door just in case.
That's what the video showed.
And after you were done with Tyler, you and Megan go upstairs, or you meet Megan in the master bedroom, and you console yourselves, right? Yes or no?
That's what the video showed.
And you actually told this to law enforcement multiple times. It's not just what the video told, correct?
Ma'am, video, that's what I said. I don't remember anything after I left the house till I got to jail. So I'm refuting, I'm going on your premise that that video is correct.
Okay.
What? How would the video be
Well, that is you in
incorrect?
the video, right?
It's a sickly version of me, yes.
A
It's an
what?
emotionally disturbed video of me, yes.
And that's you talking, right?
That is me talking, that's correct.
And this is you healthy?
Thank God I didn't tell you I assassinated
There's no
Kennedy.
question. So after that, you tell law enforcement, yes or no,
Mhm.
that you and Megan get Breezy, the dog, to come
Oh,
up
come
onto the bed,
on.
correct?
That's what the video showed.
And that at that point in time, you suffocated Breezy and took Breezy's life.
That's what the video showed. The truth of the matter is, the only thing I saw.
There's no question.
You didn't answer yes or no, so I said no.
So, yes or no, it was after this that you told law enforcement that Megan decided that she had to go next and she stabbed herself, right?
I don't know the rules to this question, ma'am. Can you repeat it, please?
Sure.
The rules to the
Yes
question.
or no? The next thing that you told law enforcement happened was that Megan needed to kill herself and she stabbed herself, right?
By what the video showed? Yes.
And you were present or at home when Megan stabbed herself 2 times.
Correct.
And that you tried to, you actually testified in the
I wish they
video
would pan
and
out and
you
show the
told law
audience. I
enforcement
mean,
that
I
you
know they
tried
can't
to
show the
help
jury,
Megan
but
bleed out more quickly by doing these different physical therapy techniques.
I didn't see that in the video, ma'am.
So you didn't tell law enforcement that?
Ma'am, you're asking me on the video what I
Said,
told.
did you tell law enforcement?
at any point on the
Which point?
video or not the video,
At any
ever
point, did you tell law enforcement that you tried to help Megan bleed
in this
quickly
lifetime, your
so
next
that she would
lifetime,
die
7 times
by doing
lifetimes
your
ago,
physical
at
therapy
any time?
techniques?
Take
Can I
your
tell you what I
pick.
told law enforcement by the transcripts that have been provided for me?
What'd you tell law enforcement?
I told them I provided myofascial release to help facilitate blood flow. It's a technique that you do not do. It's a technique that I did over her liver to help her with digestive issues. You do not do myofascial release to help blood flow. It doesn't help blood flow.
What?
Okay.
Oh my
Isn't
gosh.
it true that you told law enforcement that at
Yeah.
some point you
Chris
took
Watts
a
said you
pillow
can
and
be
put
his
it over
lunch buddy.
Megan's head
Todt.
until she suffocated?
That's what the video showed, yes.
I mean, this is just painful to watch. Is there going to be redirect? Why do you turn away when you blow your nose? Are you afraid that the demon's going to leak out and go crazy on the courtroom? Look at all the pages she's just skipping because she's like, fuck this. You can hear it. I'm not asking this shit. Fuck this shit. Nope, no, that's not looking good either. No. No, can't ask that. I'm over it. I think she thought this was going to go a whole different way.
When was Tyler's birthday?
12/30/2008.
And he would have been 11.
Yes.
And based upon your testimony and the statements that you made to law enforcement, he was dead before his birthday, right?
Christmas, that's correct.
And did Tyler get like birthday cards?
Sorry.
Or from family?
Sure.
You
You're
don't-
very good at that.
You don't remember?
There's a lot I don't remember, man.
Huh.
Do you remember cashing a check that was for Tyler's birthday? And I have no further questions.
Oh,
Thank you.
thank God.
Be direct.
Yeah, because this is going swimmingly. Get on up there, Perry Mason. Get him. This poor court reporter,
Mr. Todt,
too.
who killed your family?
The wife kills her kids.
You were not involved.
Thank you. Mr. Todt, you may step down and join your attorneys at council table.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take our lunch recess. As always, please do not discuss the facts of the case with anyone. Please do not conduct any independent research. Please discontinue watching or reading any media reports or any information that you may receive outside of the courtroom. We will resume at 1:30 with the
He'll be right with you.
Based on the evidence presented in the trial, the state has established to the level of a reasonable finder of fact the elements of each allegation against Mr. Todt when viewed in the light most favorable to the state and allowing a finder of fact to.
I think that's it, you guys. Hold on.
Commit a criminal act is
I'm sorry?
the principal instruction.
Oh,
All
these
right.
are just jury instructions they're arguing about. Okay, so based on this, this is what I'm guessing that they're over there arguing jury instructions that tomorrow we're going to see closing arguments from the prosecution, and the defense will probably get up there and say the state didn't prove their case. You heard what the man said, and sit down. And then I can't do a poll nonstop, Mom, because my phone is dead and I can't do it on StreamYard. I have to do it on YouTube. I can't do a poll. But I'll do one tomorrow. How about that? So then likely that's what'll happen. And then the jury will get their instructions. So tomorrow is Thursday. I would imagine that we have a verdict by tomorrow afternoon so the jury can go home. It's Friday is Good Friday, as everybody knows. And so yeah, I think that the jury is going to deliberate. They got to look like they put in an effort. And let's see. So they'll fill out the form, find him guilty. Each juror will have to sign their name. I'm guessing about 30 minutes. I'm guessing an hour. I'm going to guess that this is going to be an hour, only because they have, an hour. That's my estimate. I just I just can't. I think they're going to go for a total. I think they're going to go a full hour, Allie. Do I? Okay. What I'm saying is they're probably going to talk about it for maybe 20 minutes but they're going to have to look like they put an effort in. So they're going to go the full hour. That's what I predict. Because Chazels, how long was Chazels? His was only like 2 hours, wasn't it? And that trial was 3 times longer than this one. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Nonstop, Mom. They're going to get the niceties. Yeah. Yeah. Dot all the I's, excuse me. Cross all the T's and be out just in time to beat the Easter weekend traffic. But his snowbird argument is so annoying. First of all, the snowbirds come. That's when it's fucking snowing, is in December, January, and February. So why would you even bother to stick your head out the window for neighbors that weren't there? I mean, give me a break. And then you handed the suicide note to your mother-in-law, or your mom, somebody in your family who was no longer living. Yeah. All of it's annoying, Mo. All of it. But he could have, all of it's annoying. I just find all of it's ridiculous. I mean, the fact that he said he drank motor oil is ridiculous. Yeah. The whole situation was how he cried fake cried, at least tried to show emotion for the Lyme disease and some bug with a red mark the shape of Texas. He cried more about that bug than he cried about his children. And you notice that both times he said it. So he said, my wife killed her children. And then on redirect, he said it again. My wife killed her children. Weren't they your children? I thought Zoe was your little angel. I thought the boys were your best friends. And why did you go to the store to buy a pellet gun for your son's Christmas present after he was already no longer living? And where did you buy such an overabundance of Glade plugins? Because I'm not a fan of the plugins. I prefer the Febreze. Those under normal circumstances, and normal's not relative in this case. One of those Febreze ones lasts like, I don't know, 3 months. But you had at least a year's worth of those plugins. When did you get those plugins? For Pete's sake. Oh, did he? Cement shoes? I don't remember that case. I mean, bottom line is this, even if he did that, right? But let's pretend for a minute he's telling the truth and he drank motor oil. How did that not unalive you? I'm pretty sure motor oil is toxic to humans. Are you not a human? I can't with any of that testimony was the most. I think I felt every emotion a human being could feel except for happiness. I mean, I was confused. I was aghast. I was shocked, annoyed, irritated, frustrated, angry. Literally, like, wow. But that wasn't around during this time. Remember the lockdowns? I can tell you, I can't speak for the rest of the United States. I can tell you when the state of Florida went into lockdown, and that was the second week of March. So they weren't even in lockdown yet. This fool was free to roam about the country. I don't even know what to say about all this. I need to process. But I want to thank you guys for being here to experience this buffoonery with me. I don't know what tomorrow has in store as far as the Todt trial goes for sure, but what I'm going to say, I'll know in the morning, obviously. And so if it ends up that there's a verdict tomorrow, right? Obviously we'll talk about that tomorrow at 9:00. And I might just go ahead and combine the Johnny Depp Amber Heard trial with whatever happens tomorrow in the Todt case, and then start doing the Johnny Depp stuff at 9:00 p.m. And then because that trial looks like it's actually going to be a while. So anyway, thank you guys all for being here. If you could, on your way out and you haven't done so already, would you give me a thumbs up? I would really appreciate it. And I will see you guys tomorrow. All right. Y'all have a good Thursday. Be safe out on these YouTube streets and on the and on the real streets. Stays rough. All right. Good night, you guys. Bye.